2K Sports and the PGA Tour are proud to bring you the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. We're on the cliffs of La Jolla, California, the famed Torrey Pines venue, and it's our opening round coverage of the Farmers Insurance Open. It's great to have your company. I'm Luke Elvey alongside 2002 PGA Championship winner Rich Beem, and out on the course bringing all the action is Henny Koyak and John McCarthy. And Beamer, your thoughts quickly here on Torrey Pines South. It is a big boy golf course, isn't it?
It is, and these players are in for a rude awakening because they've had some pretty simple golf courses up to this point. But this golf course, U.S. Open venue, this is going to punch you right in the mouth. There's no holding back here. This golf course is flat out tough. One of the toughest tests these players will see all year long. It's usually damp. It's usually cool. The wind blows off the ocean. It is just all around not fun to play in. I'll tell you what, if you're playing well, you can really find out what you are doing well, and that will help you in the upcoming season a lot.
He's currently tied for second. The second, a short par 4, one that the players like to take on these days, Rich. A good birdie look here.
They do. It used to be where you laid back on top of the hill and took a wedge, 9-iron sometimes for your second shot, but a lot of players now are challenging that bunker down the right-hand side, getting as far down there as possible, and just having a flick with a sand wedge in for their second.
This would be a great up and down from this spot. Yeah, it's about 14 feet to the hole.
An all-important putt for par.
Ooh. And unfortunately dropping back to even with the card.
Moving down the leaderboard, Luke, never a good thing.
One of the most photographed holes in all of the PGA Tour is this downhill par 3 third at Torrey Pines South.
I like it when they move this tee box up and it's only a wedge, because when they make it a 5-iron or more, this thing gets really difficult. Firm green actually tilts away from you towards the ocean. This is a really difficult green to find.
Setting this putt up from a mile away. John, what's the line on this putt?
This one's going to move quite significantly right to left.
Putting for a par now. So no movement on the leaderboard there, remaining at even overall. One of the hardest holes on the entire property is the par 4 fourth, Rich. It is a strong, demanding hole right from tee to green.
I love this hole. Just take it out of those bunkers on the right-hand side and hit yourself a nice little baby draw. And from there, you have probably one of the coolest green complexes, I think, on the golf course. Really difficult to make birdie, and actually you're pretty happy making par. But I'm telling you what, sit there and enjoy the beauty of this hole. It's a doozy.
Okay, coming out of the sand, but I don't know if there's enough club here.
Lovely effort that. He has this putt to save his par. All right, Henny. What's he got in front of him here with this putt?
Yeah, he's been prowling around this one. It's 11 foot out.
5 feet coming up to the cup. Just 2 shots back after that hole. There's a real premium on your tee shots here at Torrey Pines South Course. Keeping ball in fairways critical, and that is illustrated also by the par 4 fifth.
This fairway cambers from left to right, which helps a fade on this hole. However, don't get too overzealous and pull it, because that fairway bunker down the left, that sees a lot of action. Second shot is a green that pitches back towards you from back to front. That's got a lot of movement over on the left-hand side.
And yeah, I don't think that's enough from the rough.
He didn't look to hit that one quite so flush. Here's a chance to get up and down from the greenside bunker. That was a solid shot. Out of the bunker and onto the surface. A par putt awaits. Ooh. Just a 4-footer remaining.
Try and keep that scorecard a little less dirty. This is for bogey.
And as we look at the leaderboard, our player out in front is leading by 1. That's not the shot he was hoping for. Second shot here on the 6th. This lie's not great. This would be a great up and down. Straight out of the top draw. Well, this would be a good one to make. It's for par.
And this putt to draw even with Will Zalatoris.
Currently at 2 over par.
Always like to see your name moving up the leaderboard. Never a bad thing.
The par 4 7th, a little dog leg left to right. Again, positioning of the tee is key.
This fairway slopes pretty good from left to right. Players want to start it out at the fairway bunker down the left-hand side and just hit a gentle fade off of that. Second shot here is to an elevated green. Don't go long whatsoever here. That's when the barranca and the canyons come into play.
Ooh, sometimes you need a hacksaw to get out of this rough.
Coming out of the rough, and it might not have enough on it.
Wow, what happened there?
Distance control nearly impossible coming out of this rough.
And that's safely on the surface. Well, I hope he makes this one. It's for par.
With this putt, he'll get 1 up on Will Zalatoris. What a match this has been.
Sitting at 2 over for the day. The 8th at Torrey Pines South is an uphill par 3. It can be a hole in one hole, or it could be an absolute brute to even find the green, depending on where that hole location is.
This green is not deep. It's wide. It's got a lot of movement from east to west, just not a lot of room north to south. You find the right section of this green, you could find yourself a nice little deuce.
Going with the 7. That's disappointing.
Wind is absolutely swirling in this part of the golf course.
Setting up now, this one from a fairway out.
Solid little par putt here.
That's a nice putt. He'll take that. Right on 4 feet. Should make this one. Now 4 back after that hole. The final hole on the outward half is a par 5. Runs right against the boundary fence, and it requires 2 big shots.
2 long straight shots required if you want to find this par 5 and 2. If you don't, a nice little layup. Give yourself a good number for a 3rd shot. There is a nice little shelf there. If your pin's up top left, watch the spin down on the right hand side. Watch it go in the hole maybe.
John, you got a better view than we do. What's his lie like?
Well, guys, very deep in this rough. This is gonna take some precision engineering to get out of this one.
Let's hope this one gets a good lie, because it's heading towards the rough.
This would be a momentum saver here, getting this up and down.
This is his 5th shot. 4 shots behind our leader. Well, that's very crafty, isn't it? And this one is for bogey. And as we step on to the 10th tee, Rich, always good to look back at the 9 holes just played.
Well, this has been entertaining so far, hasn't it? The players behind their rival at the turn, but that's just temporarily. They got 9 more holes to go, some good opportunities on the back 9 to catch them. Let's see how this all ends up.
Where did that come from? That's not his style. Time for the second shot at the 10th. This one looks like it's come out a little soft out of that fairway bunker. Probably won't reach the green. That's in the sand. That's on the green, but still a fairway from the hole. Oh, a lovely opportunity to save par here.
All right, this one's starting way out to the left.
Our work here is done. Let's head to the next hole. There aren't too many easy holes here at Torrey Pines South, but the course certainly gets tougher as we head to the par 3 11th.
This green from the back tee looks minuscule. There's just not a lot of room on the front of it. Even the back section, which it does get a little bit wider, it still is very small. A massive shelf, top left. If you get it up there, happy days for you. If not, just find the green, 2-putt, make 3, move on.
Oh, I like the look of that shot there, Beamer. This one for bogey. Okay, let's head to the next. And he'll drop down the leaderboard after that effort. We'll talk about strong, long, and difficult. Let's stand on the 12 here. And is there a harder par 4 on the entire property?
There is not. I mean, this is just usually right back into the teeth of the breeze. Not wind, just a little breeze. Enough to make it about 30 yards longer. You got some bunkers left and right that you got to deal with. But from there, you got a green that sits above the fairway just enough to make that second shot just a little bit longer. This is a brute, an absolute brute.
That's disappointing. A 4 bogey streak. Found the green side bunker. Looking for an up and down here. Oh, I thought that one was going in. Pretty straightforward 4-footer coming up here. I think he's pulled this one. This is a triple bogey attempt here. And down it goes. Let's head to the next. All right, Rich. The par 5 13th. So much has been said about it. I'm interested in your thoughts.
This is one of the most interesting par 5s you'll ever play. If you hit a good tee shot, find the fairway, and you have the opportunity to reach, then happy days. But if you don't find the fairway or can't reach, now you've got to lay up into a low area where you're going to have a third shot that's absolutely blind. This third shot could be one of the most difficult third shots on the PGA Tour, bar none.
Look like this one's heading to the beach. That's a tad wayward. Not quite finding the surface. Oh, that was pure silk. Well done. This putt's about 4 feet from the hole. Currently at +9 for the event. Over to 14 we go, a par 4.
And a really good par 4 once again. Dogleg from right to left. Those bunkers on the left, you don't want any part of them. And from there, the difficulty is judging the distance with your second shot. This is an infinite edge look from the fairway. So when it pins in the back section of this green, it's nearly impossible to judge the distance. This is a wonderful, wonderful design.
Opting for the 6-iron. Just a little off with the accuracy there, unable to find the green.
And another missed green in regulation. My, oh my, this has been a long day.
4 feet to the cup.
This is to save par.
Our current leader is enjoying a 1-shot lead. We stride across the 15th, Rich, and we talk about strong par fours. This is another one.
Why are the straightaway par fours the hardest ones? We have another one right here. It's just straightaway with the drive, nothing fancy about it. You find the fairway and you're left with another long iron second shot. You got a front right bunker that should see plenty of action. The one on the left, though, that's a big no-no spot, as this green does tilt pretty good from back to front.
Going with a 3-wood here.
4 left.
All right, facing a little up and down here to save the par. And that's the line, the sand. This one looks to be on a pretty good line. Will it go in? Just a short putt remaining here. Sitting at 10 over par for the day. Well, the finish at Torrey Pines South captivates everyone. It really starts here at the 16th, par 3 playing across the ravine.
A long par 3, especially with multiple tee boxes that can be used. Green is a little bit of boomerang shape, especially back left. That's when things get really tight. But I must say, this is a wonderfully, again, designed par 3 that makes you think an awful lot.
Players setting up, trying to get up and down from the bunker. And here we are with the third shot. Ooh, that almost went down. This next putt is for bogey. Penny, take us through the break on this putt.
I've got it going left to right.
And this one will be for double bogey. And that sees him drop down the standings a little bit. Your ball striking certainly gets tested off the tee here at 17 as we head for home at Torrey Pines South.
You want to avoid the bunkers on the right, but in doing so, you bring the ravine on the left into play, don't you? Second shot, though, plays slightly uphill. There's 2 distinct sections, the left and the right here. A little bit of a spine that bisects this green. This is a really good, strong par 4. Par is a great score.
Always frustrated by missing a green.
Well, story of the day for this player is just missed too many greens. You can't afford to do that.
"11 feet to the cup." That is disappointing. Never hit it. And that finishes up the efforts with a tiny little tap in. And that's a little disappointing, dropping some spots on the leaderboard. Well, the finishing hole at Torrey Pines South is a famous one. There's been so many cool memories that have happened over the years here. Go for it in 2?
If you get the opportunity, why wouldn't you? I mean, this is probably the best risk-reward par 5, or one of the best on the PGA Tour. You find the fairway, just the water there on the left-hand side fronting this green. It's going to make you think all day long, do I have enough? Can I carry it? Should you find the green? Yes, you got a decent opportunity at eagle, birdie at worst. But you start missing it left and right. That's when things get a little bit dicey. This one's heading towards the cabbage.
And that one has failed to escape the rough. So he's got more work to do here.
Coming out of the rough, I think this one's going to be short.
That one's into the drink, folks, I'm sorry to say. And this from the green side rough. This is a fairly lengthy putt here. This looks pretty tiny, this. That's disappointing. And that'll be all she wrote today. Well played. Well, Rich, that looked to be a tough day at the office.
When you get done signing the scorecard after a day like that, you just want to go straight to the car, slam the door, and just pipe it out of the parking lot to the nearest bar.
Well, that just about concludes our coverage. I'm Luke Elvey, and on behalf of Rich Beam, plus all the hard-working folks at HB Studios, it's good night for now. Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, is thrilled to present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. We're back in beautiful La Jolla, California for the second round coverage of the Farmers Insurance Open. Luke Elvey and Rich Beam, as always, with you. Our leader is currently at 1 under par for the day. Oh, that was pummeled. Great drive. And Henny, what's he looking at here?
Setting up this shot from about 120.
Okay, not the best result, but a chance to get up and down.
Yeah, wind took that one offline in a hurry.
Well, this would be a great par putt if he can make this. And he's down there. You got a read?
Ooh, little downhill left to righter here.
Currently at plus 15 for the event. Teeing off on the par 4 second now. Oh, that's a tough break. This is his second shot.
Breeze coming right into his melon.
Okay, out of the sand. Not sure if it's going to be enough, though.
It's a little wayward.
Gotta believe the wind affected the golf ball there.
And if this can go down, he'll save par. Just a tiny putt is all that remains. Here we are at the third hole, a par 3.
I like it when they move this tee box up and it's only a wedge, because when they make it a 5-iron or more, this thing gets really difficult. Firm green, actually tilts away from you towards the ocean. This is a really difficult green to find.
Looks to have chosen the 7-iron. That was a bit of a miscue.
Oh, look at that. The wind just wreaking havoc with that shot. Disappointing.
Big par saver coming up for this fella. Now, that's a common fault in putting. Pulled it slightly. 6 feet remaining to the cup.
Let's keep those doubles off the card.
And that puddle drop. Well done. Let's go to the fourth. It's a par 4.
Very picturesque, this fourth hole. Pacific Ocean directly to the golfer's left-hand side. Don't be sucked in by the views, however. You want no part of that. And you certainly don't want any part of that fairway bunker down the right-hand side either. Find the fairway, and you've got a good chance at knocking it on this green in 2. Be wary, though. Anything long and left on this green is no good.
Going with the 9-iron, I think. Oh, stop it. What a shot.
And a fantastic look upcoming.
Putting for birdie.
Fuck off.
And that should secure the par on this one. It's a par 4, the 5th hole.
This is a difficult driving hole. Big, deep bunkers left and right that must be avoided. From there, the second shot plays a touch downhill green that tilts pretty good from left to right and back to front. It's a strong par 4.
Looks like this one's going to the beach. That was a little bit of a misfire, I'd say.
That's been the story of the day, isn't it, Luke? Has missed a lot of greens, and you can't afford to do that on this golf course.
From the sand, looking to get up and down. Oh, that came out nicely from the bunker. That should settle inside the range. And on the tee now of the 6th, which is a par 5.
It's a nice reprieve, this par 5. Just a little bit dogleg from left to right. Keep it shy of those fairway bunkers down the left-hand side, and almost every player will give it a go in 2. This is a 3-tiered green with a low area over on the left-hand side that sees a lot of action.
Well, Rich, in the thick stuff here, not a good spot to be.
Not as easy and straightforward as yesterday's par, so work to be done.
He may not have enough club to reach the green here. Well, Rich, I'm being honest. This lie is putrid. That was a gallant attempt. Steps up to a putt of about 15 feet in distance. Here we are with a chance to get the first birdie of the day. Penny, take us through the break on this putt.
All right, down the hill here. Got to be gentle.
You know, Luke Donald once made all 400-plus attempts inside 3 feet on the PGA Tour. And just keeping it in neutral on the leaderboard. We've now arrived at the par 4 7th.
Lovely tee shot here. Just take it out those bunkers on the left-hand side and hit yourself a little baby fade. From there, you've got a green that sits above you slightly and also chases away from you just a little bit, believe it or not. This is a really good, strong par 4. Par is a great score.
Those fairway bunkers, they can be tricky. Tougher shot in golf. That one's just going to catch the light rough. This would be a great up and down. Putting for par. Right on 4 feet. Should make this one. Okay, he's holding steady on the leaderboard after that hole. Let's see what happens here at the 8th.
This green is not deep. It's wide. It's got a lot of movement from east to west. Just not a lot of room north to south. You find the right section of this green, you could find yourself a nice little deuce.
This sand shot awaits. He's standing over his 3rd shot. How close was that to going down? This line doesn't look too tough, just in the first cut, right by the green. Didn't that look good for a long time? And just a little bit of clean-up work remaining on this hole. As we check the standings, our leader has a 2-stroke advantage. The 9th is a par 5.
Luke, it's just a straight par 5, 615 yards. You got to hit a straight tee shot, a straight second shot, and hopefully hit a straight 3rd shot. It can get challenging when they put the pin on the top left tier. That's when you can put a little too much spin on it and have it come chasing down to the front part of the green. That's no good.
That's a good-looking shot there. Unable to find the green on this one.
Oh, the wind wreaks havoc with another golf ball.
It's a well-played chip shot there. And he needs this to save par. All righty, Rich. This is crunch time. We're through 9 holes today. This player's on the wrong side of the cut line.
Well, Luke, it's going to take an incredible amount of work and also some luck for them to hoist themselves above this cut line. I'd love to see them do it, but I'm not too sure they've got it in them today.
Just let that shot be water off a duck's back. Second shot here at the 10th. That one doesn't look like it jumped out of the rough. A little off the mark on that approach shot.
Not easy to find the green coming out of the rough.
Big putt for par coming up. Henny, what's he facing with this putt?
Setting up this putt 29 feet from the cup.
And this one will be for bogey. As we head to the next, our leader is ahead by 2. We find ourselves on a par 3 here.
Oh, this is just a mean little par 3, isn't it? Not a big target up there green-wise. You got deep bunkers right and left. You got a 2-tier green. It's a fun, good-looking par 3. That's really hard.
Going with the 5-wood. Yeah, that was a safe play. John, have you got a good read on this one?
It appears it'll go uphill and to the right.
Yeah, that's a good line, that one. This is tracking. Just a short putt remaining here. Our leader is a couple of shots up at this stage. The 12th hole is a par 4.
This is about as tough a hole as you're going to find anywhere on the planet. Prevailing wind coming right back into the players. You just have to step up and hit a solid tee shot to find the fairway. From there, you're going in with a mid to long iron, sometimes even a hybrid, to a green that sits just above you. Not a ton of movement, but enough from back right to front left to make you think.
Playing from around 150 yards here. Well, Rich, from where I'm sitting, this looks makeable. Do you agree?
Luke, I just don't see this happening. I tell you, I'd love to see this player prove me wrong, though.
Oh, that's a nice looking roll. Oh, so close. Just a short putt. Closes the workout on that hole. And as we move to the next hole, our leader is ahead by a couple of shots. And on the tee now, coming off the bogey. Might have a bit of a sting in the tail, I'd imagine.
It's a very interesting hole. You know, miss those bunkers, put yourself in the fairway, but you've got this ravine that you have to hit over. It's a grass ravine, thankfully, so if you miss the fairway, you can lay up there. But going for this green, if you come up a little shy, you could find one of these 4 or 5 bunkers, both left and right, and then you've got a nearly impossible up and down from there. And again, a green that's got a section on the left and a section on the right. Very rarely do they put the pin in the middle. But boy, I'd tell you what, this is a really good, fun par 5 that you can make anywhere from 3 to 7.
Might not have enough out of the rough on this one.
This would be a great up and down from this spot. If he makes this, he'll save his par. Our current leader is enjoying a 2-stroke lead. We've arrived at the par 4 14th hole.
Nice tee shot here. A little bit more room to the right than the players really feel like there is. However, that also brings a rough on the right-hand side into play, and you don't want to be there, especially with this green that's set right back against the canyon. It's a difficult second shot, almost an infinite edge pool look, if you will. You really have to bear down and make sure you have a good idea of your distance control on your second shot.
Oh, that was left all the way off the club. And the players left with an opportunity to get up and down here from the sand. He's back on the surface, happy to have the flat stick in hand. And stepping up the standings after that effort. Let's see what happens here on the 15th.
As big as 12 was, Luke, this is almost twice the size, if you can imagine it, with a tiny landing area out there. This is possibly the meanest hole on this golf course. Not hardest, meanest. If you've walked off with par on this hole, job well done, my friend.
Looks to be going with the 6-iron. And that one's on the dance floor, but a long way from the DJ. 12 feet to the cup coming up. He's looking for his first birdie of the day. Oh, what a putt. And he's moving up the leaderboard after that hole. It's time for a one-shotter.
This is underrated difficult. The green is big in size, but it plays awfully small because there's really small sections to this green. The front, the back right, and the top left. If you find the right section, job well done. If you don't, it's going to be a difficult 2-putt to say the least.
What are we looking at for this putt, Henny?
Well, he's got a real outside chance here. 29 feet.
Par putt coming up here. So close. Just a tiny putt is all that remains. As we check the standings, our leader has a 2-stroke advantage. Here we are at the 17th, a par 4.
They moved this fairway to the left alongside the canyon a few years ago, which really enhanced the beauty, but also the fear of this hole. You have to challenge the left-hand side because the bunker down the right is really no good. From there, the green, it tilts from back to front mostly with a really low section over there on the left-hand side. However, it still is a promising birdie opportunity.
think this one is heading for the bunker.
This would be a great up and down. And that's safely on the surface, but still some work left with the putter. Just taking a look at this one, Rich. Do you think it's makeable?
Luke, I really don't think this is going to happen, but you know what? I've been wrong before, and it could happen again.
Pretty straightforward 4-footer coming up here.
You know, some bogeys are good bogeys.
No movement up or down on the leaderboard for this player. Here we are on the last, and it's a par 5.
I'd say this is probably one of the, if you talk about risk-reward par 5s in the PGA Tour, this has got to be up near the top of the list. You find the fairway, it's just begging you to go for it. You got the water fronting the green, and you have deep bunkers both right and left. But with the history of this hole, you got to go for it, don't you?
And that one's headed to the drink. This is his 4th shot. Outstanding shot. High quality. And a par putt awaits him. And with that, his round has come to a close. Well, Rich, you never like to see it, a player missing the cut on the PGA Tour. How does one respond?
Luke, I've got great insight on that question. You kind of have to look back and think about the positive things you did to reinforce those. But every once in a while, you got to look back and say, where did I make the mistakes? Where did I go wrong? And learn from those. Because if you don't take time to learn from your mistakes, then what are you learning from? You have to look back and figure out where it went wrong so you don't make those same mistakes again the following week or the following tournament.
On behalf of Rich Beam and all the hard-working folks at 2K Sports, I'm Luke Elvey. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.